Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Deffinition, aka the guy that's still cooling off after watching the Batman trailer for the 900th time. Don't worry though, we've managed to freeze up some time, got a hot exclusive image from behind the scenes of the movie, new plot leaks to talk about, and filming updates that will melt even the coldest of hearts. We're also going to be debunking the apparent Court of Owls image, so make sure you stick around until the end. There might be some spoilers here, so if you're a snowflake that gets cold feet, then I highly suggest that you turn off now. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for Batman videos like this every week, and of course, terrible ice puns. Anyway, with that out of the way, thank you for clicking this, now let's kick some ice. Okay, so I was sent this image over the weekend by someone I've been talking to about the Batman movie for probably the best part of a year now. They've asked to remain anonymous, so I can't say who it is, but they're very close to the production. Now, normally I don't watermark this stuff, but you know what? There's been some reports the last couple of weeks that have just taken stuff I posted out, not credited me, and then they've acted like the ones who broke the story. Now, shoutouts to everyone who called this out, and yeah, it is very frustrating, as I'm sure you know if you watch my videos, I always credit the source. Anyway, I've bloody watermarked this, but if you're a news outlet that wants to report on it, just message me on Twitter at Heavy Spoilers, I'll send you it without the watermark, and all I ask is that you link back to the video, and then that'll be really nice, baby. Look, I'm an idiot. Anyway, as for the image itself, as I'm sure you can guess, these are the Gotham City Fire Department's helmets. The helmets look pretty worn down and used, and I love the authenticity that comes with them. Now, there are a couple of things that we can take from this, and I even have my own theory about what's going on. If you cast your mind back to a couple of months ago, you may remember that there were rumours surrounding the film that said the villain Firefly would be making an appearance. This was further cemented by the casting of a fire station chief in the film, which seemed to add more weight to it. After seeing the trailer, I can imagine an arsonist type character that would fit into this world, and though I don't think that he would have a jetpack, I can see Batman tackling someone that's more ground level, like an Anarchy or someone. Reeves is clearly taking his universe in its own direction, and having a fire brigade actually make an appearance in the movie to put out a blaze left behind by the villain, I think would be brilliant at providing some world building. We of course have the Gotham TV show coming up, and we definitely need to start sowing the seeds for villains that they're going to tackle. Now, that being said, from the trailer we also know that the Riddler uses explosives a lot, so if we go at this from the other, probably more likely angle that the fire department's just here to help with the destruction he carries out, I can still see this being a nice bit of costume design. You may notice that the upper helmet has a sticker on it which says True Patriot, whilst the bottom one says Lucky You. Even these minor additions I think add some characterizations to the costume, and they almost give them a real life of their own. Now, whether this confirms Firefly or not, I don't know, and in all likelihood it's probably just a cool bit of costuming, but we do know from this image and the casting on IMDb that the fire department will have a more substantial role than simply just set dressing at the scene of a crime. I love seeing little things like this, and of course I'd love to hear your theories on whether you think it confirms the Firefly leaks or if it's just for world building. Now, as for the plot itself, we've also had some brand new plot points posted on DCEU leaks that sound like they could have some truth to them based off of what I know in the film. As always, take these with her, and you know I say this so much that you can probably say it with me. Say it, pinch of salt, but it is quite interesting. I'll be dropping my thoughts in on this as we go through it, but from what I know, I'd say it lines up a lot. Now, the post comes from Alfred Borden 1, and it says, "The Riddler and Carmine Falcone are the main villains. Catwoman and the Penguin are supporting characters, and the movie chronicles how they become the villains that we know." Now, this is very similar to The Long Halloween, which the film is supposed to be based upon, and in that, Falcone pretty much acts as the overlord of Gotham, running the mobsters and politicians for his own personal gain. The book follows on from Batman Year 1, and though there are stories in between, it does have Catwoman graduating from being a simple jewel thief to someone actually connected to the mob, and it's here that she really builds her romance with Batman. The leak then goes on to say, Edward Nashton is an engineer who uncovers a conspiracy connecting Gotham's elite, the mayor, the district attorney, the commissioner of police, to mobster Carmine Falcone's efforts to privatize Gotham's essential services like water and energy and raise their costs under the pretext of renovating the city. When he threatens to expose it, Falcone attempts to have him assassinated, but they only manage to kill Nashton's pregnant wife. Nashton then fakes his death, becomes the Riddler, and begins killing the people involved in the conspiracy, leaving behind clues that expose their lies to the public. Now, the death of his pregnant wife kinda reminds me a lot of the Joker's situation in The Killing Joke, and though that was an accident that sent Jack spiraling off into the Clown Prince of Crime, I like the idea that it could be brought over to the Riddler and also tied to the mob. It does indeed seem like the Riddler is targeting the elite of Gotham, and even his jabs at Bruce being connected to it all does hint to the Waynes being involved in some conspiracies. Obviously a lot to unpack from that, and the next part of the leak says Oswald Cobblepot is a nightclub owner and criminal entrepreneur who refuses to work for Falcone. He runs a small operation, but manages to take advantage of Nashton's actions to take over Falcone's organisation once Batman takes him down, becoming the new kingpin of Gotham. He dislikes being called Penguin at first, though he ultimately embraces the name and has several street gangs under his command, including the Royal Flush Gang, who are the guys with painted faces that Batman completely wrecks in the trailer. Just gonna watch this bit again.
I'm vengeance.
Now, this is pretty much something that we know for definite. Whenever he's discussed the character, Matt Reeves always refers to him as Oz rather than the Penguin, so it does indeed seem like he's still a small fish in a big pond. In the trailer, we actually see Oz at the docks doing a very small deal, which then spirals into a gun battle. If he was as big time as he is in the comics, then I doubt that he would be getting his hands dirty, so we can assume that he's actually quite far down the ladder at this point. Falcone is pretty much a kingpin of Gotham, thus it does seem like if he's taken out in the movie, which he probably will be, Oz will step into the vacuum left behind and finally become the Penguin. And lastly, the leak says, Selina Kyle is a thief who targets Gotham's elite after growing up in poverty. She steals evidence of Falcone's conspiracy and initially leverages it for her own benefit, but ultimately helps Batman to expose it to the public after learning how many poor families Falcone would harm. She flirts with Batman and is inspired by him to adopt the identity of Catwoman, and the movie implies that she might be Falcone's biological daughter. Okay, so this is very close to the Long Halloween, and we actually see sections of the trailer that line up a lot with this. In the graphic novel, Selina at one point breaks into Falcone's penthouse to steal his ledger, and it's here that she comes face to face with Batman, who's after the same thing. We pretty much see this play out in the trailer too, with her breaking into the mayor's office and trying to crack the safe before being stopped by Batman. I highly doubt that there's any big valuables kept in the mayor's office safe, as these would most likely be kept at his home. Thus, we can assume that something kept in his office safe likely deals with financial information. Selina is clearly after this, and it seems that the Batman would be too if he was trying to unearth the conspiracy. I can hardly see him just passing the mayor's office and then noticing her if she's just there for jewels. He's clearly there for the same reason that she is, so we can add that whatever's in the safe is important to both Batman and Selina. I definitely think that this post sounds accurate, and though a lot of it might just be an educated guess, it does make sense from what we know. Now, as for when filming will resume on the movie, it looks like things are actually well underway at the moment. Before we get into that though, I just want to let you know we're giving away a free copy of the Christopher Nolan collection to one random subscriber. All you have to do to be in with a chance of winning it is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave your thoughts on the news in the comment section below. The winner is going to be chosen at random on the 30th of September, and the set will be shipped out from then to whoever gets the prize, so best of luck to everyone who takes part. Okay, so you may have seen last week that there was an image of two Batmobiles posted online. Typically, film productions tend to do this when they're putting a car through the ringer, and they need a backup one just in case things go to crap. So we can expect some big Batmobile stunts in the film. However, there are still a lot of questions about when filming will resume in the wake of the pandemic. But it looks like it might actually be underway right now. I sounded like a bit of a supervillain there, but yeah. Yesterday, Alex Ferns, aka Trevor from EastEnders, aka Commissioner Pete Savage, posted out a tweet that said it was good to be back on set, and within almost minutes, the Warner Brothers must have stepped in and knocked him out, because not only was the tweet gone, but the Twitter account itself. I'm telling you, those Warner Brothers, they don't mess about. On top of this, Zoe Kravitz was spotted out and about in England with her husband, and she would only really be in the country if things were still going ahead. Production was rumoured to be starting in September, but who knows, if things were all in place, they might have actually kicked it off a little earlier. It's good that we're at least getting the ball rolling again though, and hopefully there's no more delays to the schedule. And lastly is the Court of Owls member image that you might have seen floating about. This was getting a lot of coverage as someone that was wearing a mask of the infamous group, and lots of outlets were saying that this confirms their appearance. However, when you skip to the next frame in the trailer, you can see that it's just a guy, and the white face was likely just due to the lighting on set. I do think that the court will be in the movie, but this guy isn't a member. Also, this isn't me dunking on people reporting it. I almost made a video myself, but I was just too lazy to that day, so yeah. Hope no one has any hard feelings, because God knows I probably report on false stuff all the time, and even in this video. But if you say it to me, mate, I'll knock you out, yeah? I'll bloody knock you out! Anyway, that's the news for the week. Hope you enjoyed the video and the threats, and don't forget that we do this sort of thing every week, same bat time, same bat channel, so make sure you subscribe for a lot more videos like this. Comment below and let me know your thoughts on the stories, and if you want something else to watch, then make sure you check out our breakdown of the Batman trailer, in which we found 100 details that make it seem like it's going to be a die-hard DC fan's dream. If you want to support the channel and get to see content early, then please consider clicking the join button below. You can also come chat to us on our Discord server, linked in the description, or at Heavy Spoilers on Twitter. Thanks for making it until the end of the video. You've been the best, I've been Deffinition, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.